All right. I think the live stream went down for a little longer than we noticed, but what you all missed, Rogue Hippo started this game out with a hold and 2 breaks right away, and then pushing Daisies just punched in their first hold. That was Townsend getting an up line. So now we have Balderson here on the attack for Rogue Hippo. Another pick call. Some people suspiciously close together. But yeah, Balderson, an Ontario pickup. Fun. He's played around Southern Ontario, playing Union out of Toronto and Crash out of the Kitchener-Waterloo region, and now picked up with Rogue Hippo last year, and he had so much fun that he wanted to come back again. Or maybe just because Notorious KWG wasn't running this year, he didn't get invited and he didn't have another team. Okay, now a big turn from Rogue Hippo, pushing Daisies with their first break chance. We have Cinna D running this fast break. Resetting back over to Chow. Stevens. That's Stevens. Sorry, folks. I don't know if these Pushing Daisies numbers are the best, but how do you feel about their jerseys? How do you feel about the jerseys this game, Brandon?
It's definitely a bold look from Pushing Daisies, like the yellow fade into the red, orange, and then to the pink. And then on the front, you might see some skulls and some daisies. But yeah, they're a bit too bright for my liking.
In my personal life, I love an ombre, but I'm not sure if I love this ombre.
Yeah, not sure it works on the Frisbee field.
And Balderson just snatching that away. All right, this is the captain, Dugan, throwing it over to Harding just outside the end zone. And a nice, easy score to number 72, Amanda Ho. So, Rogue Hippo, not a clean hold, but a hold nonetheless. It all counts for one at the end of the day, up 4-1.
I really like to see from Rogue Hippo that all 4 of these goals have been from female matching players. We love to see that on the equity side of things.
Yeah, it's definitely a different dynamic in the mix for a lot of different reasons. For example, switching on defense is a lot different. Even just how you can clear space for, you know, your female matching players and your male matching players individually. A lot more to think about sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Seems like they're doing a really good job of things here. And here you'll see, since the 4th point has happened, we are going to a slight hydration break. It is pretty hot in Ottawa this weekend. It's currently about 26 to 27 degrees, but with the humidex, it feels almost about 30.
Yeah, these heat breaks are definitely necessary. We got to keep the players safe. It's a long weekend. They're playing Friday, Saturday, and games on Sunday.
Full jam-packed weekend of Ultimate, which you love to see, but definitely got to be on the safer side of things.
And additionally, Ultimate Canada, I think for the first time, is running 2 stream fields at the same championships, which is very exciting. So right here you have Rogue Hippo and Pushing Daisies, but on our stream field you're going to have Ouch out of Quebec, Gatineau specifically, and then you're going to have Paradigm, Mixed Masters team out of Hamilton region. So very exciting stuff. Just so much action, so much Ultimate for you. And I don't think we commented on these Rogue Hippo jerseys. I think taking the minimalistic route, you know, you just have the red hippo around, but what are your thoughts?
Nice, clean look. Nothing too busy, but definitely gets the point across.
Yeah, I think in this jersey battle, Rogue Hippo's winning. Respects to Pushing Daisies. I do like the daisy. I like the design. There's a lot. And especially with the ombre, like there's 4 colors I'm looking at right now. It's tough.
It's a lot going on all at once.
Okay, now we have Pushing Daisies ready to receive the pull. It looks like a male matching point. And I don't know. I think Durgo's arm's going to be sore by the end of this because this is his 3rd or 4th pull he's putting up here.
Yeah, also had that big huck that connected on, I believe, the 2nd or 3rd point.
All right, so this is Townsend this is Matt McCullough walking up with the disc. First pass turn. That's a big block by Paul Perdich. Durgo picking it up right away. Moving it quick to Bernard. Bernard over to Flynn. Another Ontario pickup here. Running that give and go. Is Flynn going to bid? He left his feet, but just the ground strip.
You hate to see it. He tracked it down so well, had control, but didn't continue through ground contact.
All right, McCullough with the big hook to start. Another player leaving their feet here. That was Chow.
Yeah, just like Ottawa buses, once you see one, a second one comes in short succession.
I love that for you guys. That's not the same here in Durham region. We got one every an hour on the weekend. Durgo picking it up over here. A nice little spin cut from Batista to get open. Sorry, from Bernard to get open. Flynn working it over. We see the glove look here. No precipitation, Brandon. Thoughts on that one?
That was definitely a feel thing. Some people enjoy using gloves. Me personally, could never be me, but love to see it nonetheless.
All right, Smith dumping it off. Durgo with the big hook, looking for Jansen, but a lot of other people were in the area, and McCullough picking it off. However, a foul being called.
Did you get a good view of this one? What are your thoughts, Devon?
I got a good enough view to think that McCullough just got to the space first and went up first. Maybe a little contact, but might be erring on the soft side.
And in this game, you'll see that the observers are actually in green. They're alternate jersey.
Yeah, I don't think an orange along with the pushing daisies would have been the best for our commentary booth. All right, so a contest happened. So in ultimate, when you can't come to the resolution on the call, you just send the disc back to the last place you can agree on, which is usually the last path. So that is why Durgo is going to receive the disc back, and he's probably going to not huck it again. Okay, safe under over to Lacey. Bernard working it over to Durgo to Flynn. Now Flynn with the huck, looking to Lacey. A long give and go, and it works out. Rogue Hippo with another break. 5-1 now.
Yeah, definitely moving the disc really quick, making it tough for pushing daisies to stop them on defense. Even after the turn, we saw a very calm and collected team march it up the field and take shots when they were available.
And now I think we have another male matching point based on the 2 hands behind the head signal. But one thing about pushing daisies is they're not looking down. Like, their body language is heads high. People are jogging to the line. You like to see that. They're not giving up on this match.
Yeah, this is their home field. They're looking to get back in the game, but it's far from over.
All right, so Lee turning his back to us so we can see his number, thankfully, but he's looking like he's going to call the line. What have you been seeing from the 2 offenses lately?
So far, pushing daisies really loves their horizontal, especially initiating from the middle. They haven't really strayed away from that too much yet, but it seems like their team is built to be a horizontal team. So it looks like they might continue here, but I think they should open up the playbook a little bit.
Yeah, you know, it's good to run through some different looks so a team can't get used. Big pull over here by Bernard. Lee's going to center to D, hopefully. Getting that initiating cut from there. Back to D. Looking through his options here. Unfortunate miscue. Didn't really see much downfield. Misconnect. Rogue Hippo wasting no time. Ho working with Bernard. Getting this disc in play quick. A nice open under from Grover. Bernard now pointing deep to the people. However, a pick being called. But even though a pick was called mid-play, look at the spacing on the team. Not too much crowding anywhere in this horizontal set.
Very disciplined from the Hippos here.
Now getting to Muziak involved. You also see Tomlinson in the space. Bernard going every other down the field. Big huck down here now. Just unable to grab the bid. D over to Lee very quickly. And that was Husband that couldn't. Throwing the hat off. Great grab by Vance there. Off the line back to Lee now, working it to D. Some good flow. Just a miscue end zone shot.
Definitely some good flow from the Push and Daisies team, though. Working it up this near side on your camera.
Yeah, that was like a few strung passes in the way. Just a little undisciplined going into the end zone. That was Mason missing her target there. Bernard over to Ho in this look. Ho looking always to run that give and go, but staying really disciplined in this horizontal set. People are taking their looks. Bernard with another huck, looking for Ho all the time in the world, but a nice D from number 8, Steve Chow.
Anyone who's played on this field at UPI knows that far corner, there's a little weird wind tunnel that comes out through it, and any shots that come up fly slightly different, and you saw there a little bit of a miscue, and maybe it's because of that weird wind tunnel.
Yes, and a timeout called by Bernard from Rogue Hippo. Yeah, so you mentioned that we're on these beautiful fields of UPI. As an Ottawa native, how is it having such a field complex in your backyard? A very big backyard, because I know it's far away from a lot of things.
Yeah, Ultimate Parks Incorporated is definitely a nice place to have in Ottawa. Of Ultimate specific complex with over 15 fields just for Ultimate.
Yeah, 18 if we want a specific number.
Like, to have that in your backyard, even if you're from Ottawa, you have to drive 20 minutes or more. It's not the worst thing ever, because anytime you have all this opportunity to have great fields to play Ultimate on, you got to be so privileged. The people who were able to put this together and make this come to light, we got to thank them for what they did.
Yeah, I definitely think some of the Ottawa Ultimate players are spoiled having so many tournaments in their backyard. Nationals was CUC 2024 was here. You have No Borders every summer. Now CUC Masters are here. I don't think the Ottawa people understand what it is to take a flight away, you know?
You love it, though, especially as an Ottawa person, not having to go too far when you have such nice fields. Can definitely get behind that.
Thank you to UPI for giving us many, many, many tournaments and many more to come. Okay, coming in, we have a bit of a horizontal stack from Rogue Hippo running that one initiation. Someone is very free here. Couldn't hit Tamuziak.
A lot of poaching in the lane, taking away that pull play coming out of the timeout, and it's worked here.
And it worked, yeah. What was Pushing Daisies doing there out of the turn that kind of stifled Rogue Hippo?
So they sat under the cutters with one poach deep, and then they were passing off together, and it didn't even matter which gender match it was.
That was Townsend getting the disc, moving over, and Ho getting in there for a run through T. It's great to have speedy defenders here that you can count on after a turn.
Yeah, definitely coming at a premium, but if you have them, why not use them?
All right, working through their looks here. Pretty disciplined horizontal set. We have the three handlers staying back. Now this is isolating over here. Tamuziak with the disc. Over to Tomlinson. Bernard with a big huck now. Looking for number 5. We don't have number 5 on our roster here, but she's doing a lot with the assist to Tamuziak.
Definitely took the perfect body position there. Blocked off the oncoming defender and then flipped it to Tamuziak for the goal.
Okay, now 6-1 for Rogue Hippo. And I believe a Pushing Daisies timeout. Do you know the timeout rules for this tournament?
I do not. I should educate myself on that.
I'm going to take a wild guess that it's probably 2 per half. It's a nationals championship.
2 per half would definitely be the right call, especially in the heat.
And, pushing Daisies, using their liberty to call a timeout. Down at this point in the game, what do you think this timeout is about? Because you see the contrasting styles. You have Rogue Hippo working on their handstands on one end and pushing Daisies, seriously talking in the middle. What's going on in there?
I think the structure has been pretty good for him pushing Daisies. It's kind of just that last little bit of execution. We saw them get into the red zone a couple times, force a few throws, but in the timeout they are probably looking to kind of slow things down and just focus on the execution piece of this to try to get back in this game. Pushing Daisies going to the line now. Going to be receiving on the right side of your screen.
And you see them running over. These observers are running a tight ship. They're not going to allow you to take any longer than you need to.
We love Team Orange/Green for this game. Only a few seconds to signal readiness for the O-line here.
And I believe that is Townsend running the line, just telling the people where they have to be. Okay, Flynn gonna have a big pull. I don't think Flynn should be pulling. It is a female matching point. Maybe that's rules not in place here. We might have lied to you all in the stream. Sorry, we'll find out at halftime. Okay, but it looks like a zone being thrown here. A little 2-3, maybe a 3-3-1 action. Pushing Daisies doing well to navigate it, moving quickly through the layers. And a quick melt call being called here by Rogue Hippo. So pushing Daisies not being phased by anything. We have McCullough over to Burton. Those two working well. Now over to Jack. Jack looking through her looks and catching a face guarding Flynn in the end zone, hitting McCullough. That's our second point of the day.
That's definitely what you want to see coming out of a timeout. Quick disc movement, breaking that zone with ease, and then taking the right decision in the end zone.
Okay, now pushing Daisy's going to be back on defense. And what can they do to slow down this Rogue Hippo horizontal set?
Well, they did a good job the point prior of junking up the lane and making them not be able to run a pull play. So I'm looking here to see if they'll throw some type of a junk or a zone to slow down the Hippos team, which really excels in short disc movement.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like to be a female matching point. Pushing Daisy's electing to have a female matching puller.
Love to see that.
Love to see that. Might not be the rule for this tournament, but we do love more equity in the sport. So usual suspects on this line. Ho, Balderson looking to do a lot of work here. Captain Dugan over here as well.
Setting up horizontal once more.
And it looks like Vanderlyn with the first throw turnover. That's D picking the pocket. He still has the disc now. Probably wants to get it out soon. It did seem like he had the disc for a while.
D did do a good job to read the play and make that interception, but nothing downfield for him to throw up to.
Yeah, and for the viewers at home, we see the observer tapping his head. What does that mean?
Tapping ahead means it is a stall down, but they are currently talking about it, which means once you get to 10 stalls, that is a turnover.
Yeah, so it's going to be contested, so he's going to come in at stall 8, so he has 3 stalls to get the disc out. And throwing it deep. Let's see if Lee can come down with this, and no, that's Balderson just smothering it up. Quickly over to Vanderlyn. So Rogue Hippo was probably on defense for that 10 stall count, and now they're back. Big upfield throw from Dugan. Grover bringing that low throw down. But Dugan looking not afraid to take some shots. Oh, number 22, Bosniak with the nice hands. Grover hitting the ground again.
Putting it up line, just out of the reach.
Just out of the reach of Vanderlyn. Now, I think we have a person just off the start here. That's Vance getting the disc moving, continuing it up. And Lee, Justin Lee, captain, calling a nice timeout. So that would be Pushing Daisy's second timeout of the half. I knew it. It was 2 timeouts a half. That's how Nationals should be. 2 timeouts in close succession. Thoughts on that? Are you okay to burn a timeout here, Brandon?
For sure. If you're trying to get into the game, doing so and making sure you're executing, it's not the worst than ever. Like, they know they need some breaks, and they also need holds. And to be able to get that, you can't be doing it with tired legs.
No, not at all. And also, they already had a turnover this point, so on that second break chance, you probably want to capitalize.
Exactly. And capitalize is definitely what they're looking to do here.
And you know what? They're looking really good. They're looking a lot better. They probably had a rough start going down 3-0, but they've cleaned some things up. There's a lot of defensive intensity, and they are moving the disc a lot smoother before.
Oh. And they also have a couple typical O-line players here on this defensive point, like Lee, who will definitely look to try to power this offense in the slightly upwind direction.
Yeah, we're slightly elevated here from the grass, so I can't just grab some grass and toss it up. But I would agree from you. A slight upwind, probably. All right, horizontal to start. That was Chantel Mason with the initiating cut. And just a slight miscue from Lee there, looking for Vance.
And that's a tough shot, fade into the away sideline to hit.
All right, Vanderlyn with a miscue. Ho almost looking for a second effort. And Senna D with a quick pickup, looking deep. Nice read from Nook. Bouncing just off of the hands of Mason, and Rogue Hippo with another chance to hold. Balderson wasting no time. Sees Reed going deep. A great... He had the read there, Reed with a good read there. However, just bouncing off his chest. D picking it straight up, looking for Lee again. Working it over to Chow. Oh, sorry, that's Stevens. Back to Lee. Just another turn. This turning into a long point. We have had a timeout. Does this change the way you cut? Does this change the way you throw, Brandon, midpoint?
Yeah, you definitely have to be a bit smarter and not take those shots that would have worked earlier in the point. Now there's some tired legs. You can't just always throw your teammates open.
Yeah, some tired legs. Some people might not be committing to their cut. Some people might not have the legs to run down hucks. So definitely changes the way. And Ho with a nice little butterfly cut there in the end. And that is, I believe, Bernard throwing the go to Ho.
Ho getting their second of the game.
And yeah, that's a very long point. I'd be shocked to see any players double over.
Yeah, I'm tired just watching it.
Yeah, you know, D had his hands on his hips right now, hands on the knees, gasping for air. And Pushing Daisies showing that youthful energy, jogging to the line. You'd love to see it at, down 7-2.
Down but not out here, especially when they get an O point here, which you would expect them to score.
Oh, also, something that you all might not be aware of is there's a lot of people behind the scenes making this production work. We'd like to shout out our common communications expert, Sarah, and Kat. Running the stream, she's doing some stuff on the laptop, and our camera operator, You know him very well. Brendan, you want to introduce him?
Sebastian, better known as Seb, is on the camera doing an amazing job for you folks at home.
Just in case, if the Frisbee's out of frame, you know who to come for. All right, pushing Daisies, ready to receive the pull. Durgo with a nice big pull here. Landing in the corner of the field. McCullough's going to center the disc over safely into the hands of Enright. And just a miscue, we have Pertich with the turnover. Now Durgo working very quickly with Bernard. A pick being called.
An unfortunate turn, as it seemed like the wind just picked up and took that disc, bringing it over the reach of the offensive players.
Yeah, and pushing Daisies, they're making good choices. It's not like all these turnovers are off of poor hucks or bad inside looks. They're usually on open shots, just missing that execution in the slight breeze today.
Mm-hmm.
And so now this pick was called a couple throws ago, so there's only a +1 continue on the pick, meaning that if a pick happens, you get one more throw before the throw realizes, and then play has to stop. So now Bernard gets an open throw to Durgo, and they're just going to give and go up the field. Centering this disc, just steps outside the end zone. Flynn around to Pertich, and that is another goal, and that's going to take us to halftime here, folks. But don't go away. We will have some fun halftime interviews with some people from both teams, but give us a couple minutes to set that up.
I love working with a team towards a common goal.
For the camaraderie.
Camaraderie and playing with my teammates.
I play for my team.
Teamwork and the connections that I can build on and off field.
For the community and the exercise.
Because of the community and the competition.
I like playing Ultimate Frisbee for the competition.
I play for the competition and the fun.
For fun.
Because fun.
I love getting to work hard.
You get out of it what you put into it.
Leave everything out here.
Every time I step on the field, I want to be a better player.
Give something people to talk about.
Be happy but never satisfied. To step away from real life and focus on Frisbee.
I play because I love Ultimate.
Find your drive.
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 Okay, we're here with Spirit Captain Andrew Durgo, up 8-2 at halftime. How's the team feeling?
Pretty good.
You can look at the camera if you want.
Fair enough. It's hot here, and these guys are a very experienced team, and they're making us work for it. We're just happy that we're kind of operating. We're taking advantages of some of the turnovers we're getting and just trying to punch in as many points as we can.
And out of Edmonton, Alberta, how was the travel over here? Has it not been hot in Edmonton this summer?
It's been hot, but it's not like muggy. We stepped off the plane and got out of the air conditioner. We're like, oh boy. But We've got everyone on the team has a water buddy, so
Okay.
we're trying to make sure that everybody's staying hydrated and just dealing with it as well as we can.
Nice. And do you want to say hi, anything to the fans back home from Alberta watching?
Thanks for watching if you guys are. We appreciate it. It's nice to have fans. Cool.
Are your coworkers watching right now?
I sent the link to them. I have no idea if they're actually. I mean, it's like 10 o'clock there, so.
Yeah, no one's doing work on a Friday.
Right, maybe.
Thank you so much. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. This is huge on my head.
Definitely a bit different being in the booth, eh?
Yes, very different.
So, how's the first day of the tournament going?
Pretty good. We played a local Ottawa team first, so that was fun to play against friends and that. So, yep.
Speaking of Ottawa, being at UPI, tell us what that's like.
Oh, it's great. I mean, there's 19 fields here, so we have a lot of space to play and practice, and a lot of teams come out, so we had a lot of competition. And it's a great Ottawa Ultimate community.
For sure. And speaking of competition, what's one goal for your team in this tournament?
Well, this is actually our warm-up tournament. This is the Masters tournament, but we are a Grandmasters team. We're the only Grandmasters team here, so this is working out the kinks for our team, making sure we can find some good flow and really turn it on and peak at the Grandmasters tournament in Victoria.
Yeah, we really saw some good flow, especially in that second part of the first half. So, looking forward to the second half. Thank you for coming on the little halftime stream with us.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for making it easy.
I love working with a team towards a common goal.
For the camaraderie.
Camaraderie and playing with my teammates.
I play for my team.
Teamwork and the connections that I can build on and off field.
For the community and the exercise.
Because of the community and the competition.
I like playing Ultimate Frisbee for the competition.
I play for the competition and the fun.
For fun.
Because fun.
I love getting to work hard.
You get out of it what you put into it.
Leave everything out here.
Every time I step on the field, I want to be a better player.
You know, give something people to talk about.
Be happy but never satisfied. To step away from real life and focus on Frisbee.
I play because I love Ultimate.
Find your...
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our halftime interviews. Those are new, Sarah's idea. She's really doing a lot for us out here. Brandon, how'd the first half go for both teams?
Yeah, you've seen the Hippos doing really well with their execution, especially on their D-line, while Pushing Daisies was doing the right things, but the execution was where they had more errors.
Yeah, and then contrastly, Rogue Hippo was very clean. They were getting very open, so made a lot of easier throws for their handlers to their cutters. And then in the second half, just focusing on for Pushing Daisies, like keeping the energy high. This is their last game of the day, and they're looking to build for Victoria in a month. And so, you want to keep keep your bodies healthy. And I think for Rogue Hippo, they're looking to challenge some of these top teams. They just want to win as many games as they can. So really, let's clean up this execution and make it even better for when they get into, hopefully, the bracket and some tougher games. But starting on this second half, we have Rogue Hippo on offense. And Dan Balderson with a nice hook to Flynn, just bouncing out of his hand, pushing Daisies an early break chance to lock in their first break of the game.
This is a good chance for pushing Daisies. Probably talked about it in half, trying to make good decisions. Let's see how they react here.
Yeah, and if you're Lee walking to the line here, what are you thinking about?
Shooting.
Okay, we'll see if we're going to get a downwind shot. We'll see if Coach Chris Vickers encourages that. Nicely over. Working it over to Stevens. Mason now getting involved downfield. Some nice pressure from Rogue Hippo, cutting off a lot of unders. But like you said, Lee looking deep. And couldn't hit Townsend, but a foul being called.
Might bail out the decision there, but it looks like it's a retracted foul call, so the disc is going to stay where it was turned over.
Okay. We mentioned some execution woes for pushing Daisies. Do you feel like that was more on the execution or the decision side of things?
I think the decision was the issue there, where as much as I wanted them to shoot it, the cut wasn't developed just yet.
Now the wind picking up in this second half. Verlin kind of getting the disc in the coffin corner, but Dugan with a nice upline throw. But you see just how strong that wind is, that disc turning over very early on in its flight path.
D with, I think, their second D of the game, really being a smart defender downfield, helping out and poaching off when needed.
And Flynn with an upwind backhand hook, looking for Husband, and that's a goal. Not a clean hold, but a hold nonetheless. Back on the board, starting off the second half right as they left off.
Not the cleanest hold, but you'll definitely take it. You can walk through some of the things on the line to see what they can do better. But a hold's a hold nonetheless.
All right, both lines coming together after each point to call the next line. How do you like that when teams, come together, call the line and move out? Waste of time or good vibes?
I think it's definitely good vibes. The camaraderie is there. Even when a team is going down, for example, with pushing Daisies, they're still working as a unit, still showing their togetherness, and they're in it together. So, nice to see.
Do you implement that in your own coaching?
Personally, no. We do it a bit differently. We kind of have a pod system, or sometimes it's O-line, D-line, so the coach with the clipboard definitely takes over, and everyone's kind of walking as a unit to the line.
Yeah, and Brandon actually coaching Scorch, the B team out of the junior development system in Ottawa. How's your season going?
So we had a different season than our last one, where we were top 8 at nationals as a B team nonetheless. But this year we had some new pieces, and we're just trying to peak later in the season,
Yeah, exactly. Pushing Daisies back on O, also trying to peak later on in the season, and that was an unfortunate turnover. Chow looking for Chan. A quick turnover, and Rogue Hippo just keeping the pressure on. That's Smith with another goal here.
Smith with their third goal of the game. You love to see it. An absolute end zone specialist, striking any chance they get.
One interesting thing to note about this Rogue Hippo squad is they're a direct continuation from their senior division team. So since 2011, out of Edmonton, they were competing at mixed nationals. And then in 2022, they were like, hey, I think a lot of us are master's age. Let's just do it in the master's division. So years of chemistry.
Definitely nice to see that continuation. You see quite a few programs doing that more and more now.
Yeah, also I love the trend in the Master Division, naming yourself based on the Masters equivalent in your division. So yeah, 10-2 the score now. Some notables: Cranky, the Masters version of Crank; Stello, kind of playing off the old of Stella, and we'll give you many more names after. But great pull from the Rogue Hippo squad. I think that was number 13, Lacey. But now, Townsend centering the disc. We have Stevens looking, hitting Lee. Back to Stevens. Townsend running throughout the field, getting Flynn on the move. Stevens getting that disc back. A high release backhand. Will it work out? Yes, it will. That's a Trainer getting the score there.
Stevens really took control of that point with a few backhand around breaks, especially that last one that just hung perfectly for the receiver.
Yeah. Even though Pushing Daisies is down this game, don't sleep on them. They have that clean hold. They're grandmasters. They've been playing for a few years now. They know how to ball out still.
Very wise. Very wise.
Yeah. And back to the Masters teams naming themselves. Phoenix and Still, can you talk about the relation there with the names?
So as much as Still has a big contingent of guys from the Phoenix program out in Ottawa, they've also kind of grown to be more of like East Canada, where you got some people from Quebec, some people from Toronto. So it's not fully an Ottawa team now, but they do have quite a few people from the Ottawa system.
Yeah. Similar to, unlike, Dead Circus out of the East Coast, Halifax, similar to the name Red Circus. And, yeah, we're going to keep going. Big pull over here from number 79, Burton. Landing around the brick mark. Dugan going to look to center it to Bernard. Over to reach to Bernard very quickly. Oh, foul to stop the huck. Similar to an open pass foul in basketball. Brandon, what are your thoughts on that play?
As much as you don't like to see it in Ultimate, it kind of helps out the defense there, so you can see why they would do that, such a thing.
Yes, now Durgo shooting it all the way over to Harding. And a nice layout grab. Huge for the team, huge for the program, putting up their 11th point on the board.
You can see how much it's getting their team up and engaged from the sideline as they come cheering him on. Great grab.
Brandon, are you ready for some Alberta trivia? Let's see how well you know that province. Name a city in Alberta other than Calgary and Edmonton.
Red Deer.
Okay, that's an obvious one. That was their third biggest. Nice in between. Is that all you got?
You said name one. I hit you with one. What more do you want from me?
You know what? You did it. Just like
Canmore.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Bam.
Okotoks is also one from the crowd here.
Yeah. Banff, Jasper.
Those are too basic, Devon. Everyone knows those ones.
Let's not act like they came to your head. You got
those were the number one things.
You got fed an answer.
Louise out there. Banff. Everyone going to CUC this year, you'll see them there at one point.
Yes, you will. I'm sure a lot of people are going to fly into Edmonton, play Frisbee, and then find themselves in the mountains after.
Exactly.
All right, Tomlinson with the pull over here. Pushing Daisies back out on offense. Lee just fearless, picking up the disc every single time. Now working it over to Stevens. Stevens to Townsend. Oh, Mason with the adjustment. Pushing Daisies, just working it over. Lee tracking that disc down. Hitting that break side backhand hook. And a great read by Trainer. Pushing Daisies, that's their second clean hold in a row.
That offense is definitely working coming out of the half. Cleaner, making good decisions, and really liking this break side backhand.
Yeah, you know what? Throwers, especially at this point in their career, they have their specialty. They have, you know, their ways to break the mark. They have what they want to do, and you're seeing it on full display with a thrower such as Lee.
Definitely have some tendencies and know how to work to their benefits, and continually doing that here. As you see, some pushing Daisies going to the wrong side of the field.
Oh, at 12 p.m., already making mistakes like that. It's okay, it happens. Rogue Hippo going to be on offense for the first time in a bit. The usual suspects like Dugan, Durgo, Flynn, I believe. Yes, just getting the gender match. Or they might be in pods because Balderson's not on for Narm.
It would seem that it's a pod system here.
Yeah, with some players willing to flex over. I think earlier in the game, throughout, we saw both teams. Okay, we just had a quick little mic check. 1 2 1 2. Can you hear us? I'm just kidding. We got a thumbs up. Of course they can. Okay, Verland over to Turco. And a nice little poach D from She. McCullough with the big backhand. I think it caught the wrong edge and now getting sent out of bounds. And over on our other Ultimate Canada stream, that game ended a little faster than this one. Ouch, taking it over Paradigm 15-0. Just based on how the pools are constructed with the 5-team pool, some games like that are inevitable, right?
Yeah, but Ouch is a strong team. I saw them this week. They were scrimmaging in Ottawa, and they looked really good. So definitely makes sense.
Okay, yeah, the mixed division looking with some parity, you know? You have a lot of strong teams. Cold, a couple teams out of Toronto, Carpet, Big Cat, Cranky in the mix too. Forever Young coming over from BC, a national mainstay. Like, this mixed division is very interesting. Rogue Hippo here as well, clearly Ouch. It's going to be interesting on day 2 of this tournament.
Yeah, seeing a division that's so open is always nice to see at nationals.
And just as nice as that, flick break from McCullough, shooting it over to his friend, who we will name once his jersey is shown to us. Okay, and I think that's a Rogue Hippo timeout. The coach just having enough of that, not wanting to get broken too many times in a row. Yeah, I'm a fan of this. Settle the nerves, settle it down. They were probably up by a lot, got a little loose, and now looking to right the ship.
Yeah, definitely can't let Pushing Daisies get too much momentum here. So taking a timeout is probably the play.
Yeah, and if you're Rogue Hippo, what are you telling this team? Because you're not ragging on them for their performance. They've been clearly playing very well.
Yeah, I think you just got to go back to what was going well, taking your time, moving the disc with purpose, and taking the shots that you know you can hit.
And Pushing Daisies, they're making a run now. What would you be saying in that circle?
Hey, we know we're a good team. Let's keep the train rolling. Everyone's got to keep on grinding and force some more turns. The more turns you can do, keeping that Hippos team on the field benefits your team in the long run. And
still Pushing Daisies with the amazing energy. clapping it up on the sideline. And yeah, it looks like the other pot for Rogue Hippos here. We got a pull coming from Nook. All right, observer signaling. They have 20 seconds to pull now. Probably going over some last-minute defensive suggestions, making sure everyone's got a match. We haven't really seen much zone in this game, Brandon. I guess, not enough wind.
It's not enough to really deter teams, and they might just be working on their person. You don't want to see this chance slip away, especially if you're pushing Daisies to go up against a Masters team.
Balderson with the immediate break to Husbands. And that is Harding working very hard in the reset space. Balderson breaking the mark as will, throwing whatever he needs to throw. But yeah, Bernard getting wide open. With another backhand around. Contested catch just outside the end zone by Harding. And flipping it to number 5, unnamed player. Some adversity on that point, but a score nonetheless. 1 point closer to ending this game.
Something you may or may not have seen on your cameras at home was number 6 trainer really put in the work on Balderson in the handler space. Shut down about 6 reset cuts that I counted. Really strong defense, but nonetheless, Hippos converting their hold.
That's some great color there, Brandon. Thank you for that. And of course you saw what was going on because our amazing cameraman Seb had the camera pointing right at the disc the entire time.
Seb's doing a great job in his debut on the camera.
And is this heat timeout now? Yeah,
Yes,
20
it is.
points. Yeah, another heat timeout. Another place where you saw a lot of heat timeouts was the U24 Worlds in Spain, and some teams even using them strategically to power line before and after coming out of the heat timeouts.
Yeah, Spain was super hot, especially playing on turf over there. Did not seem too fun.
No.
But definitely some teams use it more as a tactical piece now, stacking lines before and or after. When your star players can basically get a timeout for free, why not use it?
But not really getting shade throughout the heat timeout, just, kind of standing out in the hot air. It's okay. There's our trained athletes, so not the general population that might need to avoid exercise in the hot air.
True. We do like a timeout nonetheless. Rest your legs at least. Option of getting shade.
Yeah. All right, 12-5. I have no idea where we are within the game in time caps and soft caps. Oh, I think every game's hard capped actually at this tournament.
I do believe so.
So we're going to keep playing. We're going to keep commentating. We're going to keep you all entertained. Sorry for anyone in the YouTube comments. We can't really see that, but I know you're being really nice to us. I can only safely assume that's the text on my phone. All right, so that was Fulton catching that pull, centering it over to Barrelette. Now McCullough working it through Burton. Nice around flick over to Chan. Chan back to Barrelette. Sorry, back to Fulton. Oh, and a bit of contact on that catch. She not liking the physicality from Reed.
Yeah, you'll see that this one is uncontested. A little bit of a stumble beforehand, and that's probably the reason for so much contact there.
Yeah, Fulton distributing over here, and McCullough with the inside flick hook. Just again, missing the target by a bit.
And we have an injury sub here that will take Ho out for this point at least.
Yeah, and Smith replacing. One thing we didn't shout out are the people who start these teams. You know, a lot of work gets put into starting a team. We know Carlos Baus, you know, he's a big builder in the Ultimate community. I think he's in the YouTube chats now. We want to give him credit for being the mastermind behind pushing Daisies.
We do love Coach K. He's an Ottawa legend, Ultimate Canada legend as well in terms of building.
Reed looking off that hook to hit Smith on the under. Resetting it over to Durgo. Big lefty backhand hook. Looking for Lacey. That floated so well to her.
Lacey put in another one up on the board. And if Theo Wan was here, he would say the southpaw with an absolute dime ball.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with sports, southpaw usually used to describe a lefty boxer. Or, no, sorry, baseball player? Thrower?
Oh.
Both. Yeah, both can refer to as southpaw, but Theo bringing the lingo into Ultimate. And you'll hear Theo on the stream with me in our third game of the day. We will be having Quack from Quebec City, or Levy-Quebec City, and sorry, the team out of Newfoundland, Legion out of Newfoundland. I'm commenting, I promise. All right, just trying to fix some audio issues. Pushing Daisies here on 13-5. Hippo would love 2 breaks in a row to finish, but I think pushing Daisies has a little more gas in the tank for that.
Yeah, they seem to be using their whole roster here, so should have enough numbers and bodies and legs to go through it.
Oh, and that's a beautiful bobble by Stevens. Catching it, working it back to Townsend. Stevens going every other here with Townsend. Working it over to D. Digging it out, back to Townsend. Faking the hammer off. Smartly resetting it over to D, back to Stevens. Working it to Lee now. Someone's really open on the backhand side. Did they keep their toes in? Yes, Trainer did. Pushing Daisies with a clean hold here.
Love to see that toe tap. Another break backhand around on this near side in the end zone. Someone's got to stop it.
It's what you call reversing the field. Every